Hey everyone, welcome back to CoachTalk. In this video, we will learn how to log the execution time of a particular method using Aspect. Let's get started. First, we will add two Aspect library dependencies into our Spring Boot project. Once the rebuild is successful, we will create a package named Annotation, and inside that, we will be creating one annotation class, that is log execution time. So here I will be adding two annotations. One is target and another one is retention. So here target means this supports only the method level annotation. For example, let's go to our controller class, and if you see, I've added this log execution time for a particular method. If I try to add the same log execution time for a field, it will throw the error saying log execution time not applicable to field. So now let's go back to our annotation class. So next, in the next line, I've added the retention policy dot runtime. This indicates that the information will be available to the JVM at runtime. Hope this is clear. We will be just adding two annotations, which indicates that this can be applied to only a method level, and the retention policy is runtime. So similar to the log execution time, we will create log execution time aspect, and here we will be adding at aspect and at component annotation, and this SLF4J is the Lombok dependency for logging. By adding at component, it marks this class as a Spring bin, and this will be managed by the Spring container. And inside the log execution time class, you might notice that we have used at around annotation and passed the path of the log execution time, the annotation class which we just created. So this path is nothing but the log execution time path which we have written. And here we have created one method, name it as log execution time. So inside the method, I'm starting the system.current time millisecond. This will be our start time. And this is the joinPoint.get arguments. So this will fetch us the arguments which we pass in our method. For example, all the fields which we pass inside this log execution method can be fetched over there as this array. So now arguments of 0 will be the string name value. Hope you are clear about this joinPoint.get arguments. And next is joinPoint.proceed. This is a mediator between before and after of a particular method. If we don't use this inside our at around annotation method, this block will not be executed. I will show you the live example. So this is like a intermediate operation. So before the method execution start, what do you want to do? Can be written at the top of this. That is, I want to start the timer. And after the method execution is done, the main method execution where we have added this particular annotation is done, what should be the task which needs to be done can be added after this proceed. So before joinPoint.proceed, I'm starting the timer, and after joinPoint.proceed, I'm adding this log with end time. Ideally, the proceed.toString will return what will be the response status, that is 200, 404, and what will be the output of that particular method. So in this case, it will be, let's say if the status is success 200, we will get the output as success. So if you see, there is one more example where I'm not using this log execution time. Ideally, we will be using this long start time and then long end time, and then the returning this end time minus start time. So this is also, we can do this, but using this log execution time annotation basically aspect, it's like a centralized logging. It's like a centralized management where we can configure our logging centrally without modifying our original code. So use of this completely depends on the project scenarios and project requirements. We will try two examples, one with joinPoint.proceed, so how the flow executes, and another one is without this joinPoint.proceed, which means that the method which we have added the annotation will not be executed. without this joinPoint.proceed. Now let's test this positive scenario. I will run the application. Now let's refresh. Yes, the status is success. Now let's see the logs. Let's go back to log execution time aspect. If you see the method, it gives the exact signature path, the method name, log execution time, and the parameter string with the arguments is max. And it took 949 milliseconds to execute this code block. So this is where I'm using a Firestore collection to perform the operation, but this can be anything. In your case, it can be a local DB or anything else. It logs efficiently. So now let's try this without joinPoint.proceed. Now I will comment this out. So now when I do this, this method will not be executed. We should make sure to use joinPoint.proceed. Now let's test this. Let's refresh the page. You see, it is not returning anything. So we need to make sure once all the operation is done to return the proceed.